recorded. Just a reminder that the major announcements, please come up here in front of the owl. So if there's anyone online, they can see you. All right, welcome. Okay. Rotarians, Laura. Okay, so we have a visiting Rotarian, Mr. Jack Cosby. So if you could just introduce yourself, tell us which club you're in and how long you've been in Rotary and the best place you've traveled out of Rotary.
Well, I'm in the Downtown Rotary Club. Been in downtown for the last 46 years, and next month I'll have perfect 10 46 years. I think the neatest place I've been to has been Antarctica. It's belonging to I belong to two Rotary International Fellowship. One is scuba divers, which then there's another one for traveling. And that precipitated going to Antarctica.
That's a pretty cool place to go for Rotary. So.
Cool and more than one day.
Yeah. Thanks, Jack. And we have Kathy Miller. Hi. Oh, right in front of me. Thank you. And you are just a guest on Rotary, correct? Okay, so will you introduce yourself, tell us where you work and what brought you to Rotary today?
Yeah, so I work at the parenting place, and actually my supervisor, Jody Vidoc, is a part of one of the Rotary downtown clubs. And she suggested that I come and learn more.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. You picked a great night and I will take my time. We have Sawyer here as well. All right.
No, but you will need to speak up.
Okay. Do my best. All right. So there's no one virtually. All right, just some membership updates. We are at 55 active members, and we have two new Rotarians as of earlier this month. We have Tyler over here around the corner, and then Emma Booth, who has joined a few different times. So make sure to introduce yourself and my birthday, Lisa. Happy birthday earlier this month. And then Kristen Schwartz celebrated 2 years with us this year. I want to give a big thank you to all those that attended and met with us last week. As you might remember, that is a fundraiser for our youth exchange program. So Mari is one of our youth exchange students. I don't know if the final numbers are tallied, but I think it was over $5,000. So really great event, and that kind of happened without all of you. I know all of you helped with sponsorship, raffle items, getting teams together, and just coming out and volunteering. So thank you for that. Steph Klein was the organizer, so special thanks to her and Bell Pritchard, who both helped to lead that. I know others in this room. Also helps a lot like that. So thank you. It was a fun night. I think there ended up with 20 teams. So there's a lot of meet and eats with Mari. Laura, do you want to do an announcement or?
Yep, we just do that. Talk that out for about.
Okay, so we have meet and eats with Mari. So I made an announcement virtually at our last meeting. These are really important opportunities for club members to get to spend time with Mari, either one-on-one or with groups. So Brianna is currently first with taking her to Rudy's tomorrow. We're getting that in right before it closes for the year. So I'm excited for a true American drive-in experience. And then Rachel Frisbee, who I have a team tonight, is actually taking Mari to dinner and a show. So she's going to go to Buzzard Billy's and get a little Cajun on and then go see Footloose. So maybe she'll come back and teach us some dance moves.
He wants to learn dance moves too.
Yeah.
After the Footloose presentation, I am going to take Mari to a Mexican restaurant. Either that new one that's planning on opening downtown or out to Manny's. So if somebody, or if anybody's interested in heading Mexican with me and Mari, feel free to let me know. We'll pick a date that works. But if you haven't signed up or haven't reached out, feel free to do so. We've got a whole list of restaurants. She's willing to try all the food, no matter what. So yeah, it'll be great for her to get to know more of the club members. Is there anything else? Oh, outbound applications are also being accepted. So even though we just started for this year and got Mari here, we're already planning for next year. So Jack was able to do information night. How many kids did we have?
I think there'll be eight students going through the application.
Okay, so currently 8 students going through the application process. So if you know of any students who, and Jack's probably the perfect person to have here tonight to test my knowledge, who is 15 and a half or will be 16 by July of next year, but no older than 18 by July of next year and would be interested in going abroad. Reach out to me or Ashley or Lisa, and we can connect them with the application process and start going through that, since we'll do lacrosse area interviews and then there's district-wide interviews that also take place to get that process started. So that's for the 23-24 year already. Lisa. Oh, background check. Oh, yes. Yeah, if you are going on a meet and eat with Mari, if you're going one-on-one, please make sure you have a background check. And if you do not have a background check, then invite another Rotarian to go along with you.
I just have a question related to background checks because I've had few people preparing for when Mari moved in with us. And they get an email back that has all the questions like that are specific to Rotary. Is that expected? It's been a long time since I had to do the full thing, so.
Yeah, it's a little bit more stringent than it has been in the past.
Okay, so we might just want to include that when them to expect that, and that they're probably gonna have to connect with a Rotarian to answer those questions, and then also. I don't know if it's in the email, but that the district is 6250 because the people. That is included too. We have to put the district in, so.
Okay. Good to know.
Yes, the process has changed. We didn't realize this, I think, when we first brought it up, but I think you have to submit 2 or 3 references via email. They'll get a form to fill out about you, and then there might be a conversation with someone.
Yeah, I think you have to chat with Susie Steinhauer.
And there's 48 questions, I guess, so it's not.
48. No,
And the interview is only about 10 of them.
yeah.
It's really-
I'd rather have them be more thorough than less, but yes, appreciate the reminder.
Any other questions about Katie's Murray? She is staying with Larry, so I know he's opportunity to have people over to his house, I think.
Yeah.
So you can always reach out to Larry to even try and schedule something, or maybe get a few Rotarians together to do something.
How long do we have Mari for? Through July at some point. It's an open-ended ticket, so
Okay.
We'll have her through July. Typically it's like the 3rd to 4th week of July, so when most students head back to their
Okay. And feel free to say hi to her, before and after meetings. I know she's been busy with tennis, so she hasn't been as present, but as time goes on, she will be here more and more before meetings and after. So please make sure to say hi to her. She's here. Social announcement. Service announcement. So Brad or Caitlin or.
Go ahead.
Well, I can talk about Oktoberfest and then pick the rest. So we are bartending for Oktoberfest this Saturday, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. We do need 15 volunteers. I think we have 14, but we can have more. We just have to have that minimum so that we get our full $600 from Oktoberfest. I think most of you remember that we used that money that we earned last year to give some community families some Christmas presents and to host a meal at the Boys and Girls Club. So we'll get $600 from Oktoberfest plus tip. If anybody really, really wants to decorate, any tip jars, let me know, otherwise I will work on that in the upcoming day. And I was thinking, because I think Oktoberfest is cashless, maybe we should put a QR code, so like for events. Yeah, someone else, I don't know who it was, so I can't take all the credit, but it is cashless, someone in my. Okay.
We haven't been, no.
Do, right?
Yeah, we have to pay off.
PayPal?
PayPal, yeah,
Okay.
right.
Okay, okay. For anybody who is volunteering, if you want a free 3-day pass to Oktoberfest, come to the, safe service, presentation tomorrow. They have 3 sessions, 5 PM, 6 PM, 7 PM. It's at the Heritage Tent, at Oktoberfest. Anybody who comes gets a free 3-day pass. So, and you get to serve alcohol. We can talk about.
I'm gonna talk about Torchlight Parade, I don't know if we got those like that. So, Brandon and myself and Neil.
Yeah.
Oh, but now.
Thank you.
Brandon, Neil and myself were working on a float. Brandon had a inspiration to, build a parade float, Torchlight Parade. So we've asked anybody that wants to walk in the parade with us. We got, Lenny Lou representing us, whose daughter was Cindy Lou, I guess. Cindy Lou, who's gonna be in the parade. We have Santa Claus. Santa Claus has volunteered to participate, yeah, so. And we also have the Grinch, I believe the Grinch will be there, so. Is that right? I think we're talking Neil.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
What we do? So right now, we just kind of, Brandon's probably working on the lettering right now, but we're gonna direct the back of the Jeep. Keep the doors on, so it should be fun. So you see us wave. And if anybody wants to join us, please join us for the walk and parade. It should be a good time. So. It's called the Legion Man. That's one of our displays on our, on the run. We have the blow up. We got a bunch of different blow up Christmas displays. So we're using them both in, Brandon bought this neat light display you can put out. Piece of music and the sweater shows up. So that in the background, you can't see it, but that's a sweater with the rolling head. And it's all good up, so it's pretty good. So.
I've jingle bells for everyone.
What do you think about it? What's going on?
To James Margarita, we have little, business cards with candy canes
Yes.
to hand out.
A little business cards just to advertise about the sweater drive, QR code to sign up.
So I'm excited to see if this really helps us generate more along.
Yeah.
And I got extra hats.
Nice.
Awesome, so. We'll
Wait,
be
Santa
lining up,
Claus?
the parade starts at 7.
I know you got prepared and everything.
Lining up, What street it was?
St. Charles, Livingston.
Oh, you had it. Livingston. So if you want to join us, come.
Probably want to get there for 6:45.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there 2 hours early, so we can line up 2 hours early, so
The parade starts at 7.
But
Raise
we're,
it to 7.
we're the link.
we're the last float, we're 73 out of 75, so
All right.
best of luck.
Last one, best one.
Is the- They plan on having a Santa at the end also because they have before.
How many Santas will there be?
There might be 2 Santas.
Well, we'll have the best thing.
Those.
You'll have a real.
If you can come wear ugly sweaters or white lit up.
Leader Hall's and ugly sweaters, yeah,
Rotary gear.
costumes if we got them, I don't know if anybody can.
Wrap yourself.
Costumes. I have a 2-headed sweater, if someone wants to wear that.
Oh my God.
That is amazing.
It's gonna be a big line.
Any other questions on the float?
Thank you for your.
Yeah, so, and then another comment, my daughter's has a shoe drive. She's got 2,000 shoes in my basement right now. It's overflowing. And she's trying to get to 2,500 as a goal. She was hoping to get 5,000. So if anybody has any extra shoes, I'd appreciate it if you reach out. I'll come pick them up. We got a
Here you
bag.
go, Brad.
Thank you. Great. Wow. People are, man, she's getting shoes coming in left and right. It's crazy. And I appreciate all your help. And then I'm gonna let Aaron talk about the student kickoff. I don't know what the IP.
I've always wanted to do a chili cook-off or a soup cook-off, so we're gonna enter into the Baca fundraiser in November, because they came to our meeting, if you guys remember. And so anybody who's interested in that, we'll put together an awesome soup and present RAH there. I'll talk more about it in our full meeting, but I'm gonna hijack this announcement for you almost, Pat Stevens.
Yeah.
Mr. Delta Sig, Jefferson Award winner, president of Rotary Lights,
Yeah.
donates hundreds of hours every year to main mission of Rotary Lights, which is to feed the hungry. Well, last night, Neil Weiser and I were at the board meeting. We represent RAH on the board. And there's an initiative, I'm giving you a sneak peek here, because October 20th is a big presser for launching Rotary Lights 2022-23. And at that time, this will be more in depth. But this is a preview of a way that we can really help Pat meet a goal that we set, which is to donate cash donation to a waiver of $51,000 or more. And to do that, we ordered 3,600 sweet little baby polar bears. Build a bear.
Aw.
So
Oh, I love that it says
it's-
Rotary lights
that's
on the.
Rotary Light. So, and it's a beautiful gift idea. It'll be $20 and all the proceeds, every penny will go the way. So we'll unveil it more later, but just anyone who wants one, let me know and I'll hook you up, but we'll do a little bit better thing, maybe on our Facebook page and let people know, partners in the community where you can get them.
So the company that produced those, like donated them, basically,
No, we purchased them,
but how does all the profits then go to?
we're selling them for X amount of margin, so that the money that we make.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you for your time with that. Just a little plug to. Pat is looking for volunteers still tonight until 9, and tomorrow from 6 to 9 down at the Rotary Warehouse. They are still trying to finish, getting lights ready. I assume the setup starts like October, Erin? Are they starting, when did they start setup?
The third week in October is the
Yeah.
goal, and hopefully the work down there on the levee is completing. So,
Yeah, so if you have some time, I know this week and last week are busy with Rotary events, but if you have an hour or two, feel free to stop down there. A few of us helped to do, so I just wanted to decide we learned how to put 2 different color lights together, something that maybe will be really handy someday. So I would strongly encourage you to go down and help out if you can, because I know they're putting out requests to the different Rotary clubs to help out. So if you need to know where it is, let me know. I can give you the address. Going back to IP, Marissa, do you want to talk about that? Probably. So speaking of getting hungry, IP is back. For those of you who don't know, IP is our local interact clubs, which is the high school equivalent or Rotary equivalent in the high school. It's their big service project and it fulfills their local community service project and their international community service project. It's pretty cool. All the area clubs come together. So those rivals, those crosstown rivals go away and they all work to raise food for Hunger Task Force. All the canned goods raised go there. It's their biggest food drive of the year. And then we also package meals in those assembly line fashion for those who've done before. It's pretty fun. And all of those meals that get packaged this year are going over to Poland for Ukrainian refugees. So thank you to Rotary After Hours. We're sponsoring one team. So up to 12 of our members are able to packet that. Just quick idea, there's an 8:30 or 10. Is there any time you guys prefer? Because I'm the one that slapped in. 8:30?
What day is it?
It's, I'm sorry, it's, Saturday, November 5th at Logan High School. It lasts about an hour and a half. Your packing time, maybe 2 hours.
It's loud and fun in the gym. So
So that's Saturday. correct?
it's Saturday, yep. I'm also looking for a team captain who kind of can corral, we'll put a sign up list in cover, so you'll have that available, but if somebody wants to take charge, I will be doing other things that day. There, I just can't, manage. You're, okay, cool, thanks, Mel, we can connect.
You know when it's going up?
Get it up tomorrow, so if you want to do it, first come, first serve, there's 12 slots, to do that, but if your businesses, your employers, whatever, would like to do a food drive, all those candidates stay local, and like I said, the customers do food drive, so it's a good time. Did I miss anything? All the other Rotary clubs will be there. And then we have some corporate sponsors too that will help us cover the food costs. And if you want t-shirts, there's an option for that, but we're gonna have to, we'll talk. I think they're blue this year. Thank you, Marissa. Thank you for helping with the other.
No, I love blue.
Oh. I will add that it is one of my favorite Rotary events. A lot, probably, but it's a feeling like when you walk in the gym, just like electrifying. So I would highly encourage attending. Okay. Social announcements. I don't know if there's anyone here to make one, so I will do it. Wednesday, October 5th, we're getting together on Moxie's patio. Hopefully it's warm. Maybe we'll have to be inside. So come join us even if it's by, and then Eckers Farm, I believe Sierra wants to do a social out there, but has not been quite yet, so stay tuned. Just some upcoming Rotary events, that are coming up. I think I talked about a lot of these at the last meeting. There is the pulled pork barbecue, October 6th, so that's next Thursday. All right, we're already in October. Bingo for the East Club, Interact, IC, which we talked about, and the Tri-Con District is in April. So get that on your calendar. It'll be here in the press. So hopefully a lot of people can join. One other thing is the cultural. Oh, sorry, the cultural celebration is on Thursday, November the 10th. It is at the lacrosse club. We will be finalizing ticket prices within the next 24 to 48 hours and figuring out how those will be available. It's a super awesome event where we get local chefs to cook recipes from our exchange students. So there'll be 6 recipes from the different countries that our students are from. So really good opportunity to meet the students and then taste some good food. Thank you. All right, any other announcements? I want to say congratulations to Auntie Alyssa. She just got a new nephew this morning. Any other announcements?
Yes, I do believe.
What? Go ahead.
If anybody's looking to have fun on Halloween, we're having trunk or treat at my church. And you decorate your trunk, have a game, and we gave over 200 kids last year candy, and we ran out in an hour and a half.
Wow.
So they love, the families and kids love having a safe place rather than knocking on people's houses. So it's an awesome event, and if you have time and you want to have fun, that's it.
I mean, we could do a Rotary,
Halloween night.
do a Rotary.
Sure.
Someone wants to organize it. Contact Bill. All right.
Yeah.
All right, so for tonight's program, we have our district governor, Ben Bauer. He is the 2022-23 district governor and says your most fulfilling Rotary experience has come through chairing the district RAH program, which is the youth leadership program. Youth has been a passion of yours, and you are from the Marshfield Sunrise Club. So I am going to turn it over to you to hop on up here.
Thanks.
So happy I only had one person stand, that's true. Maybe if I like crush it, I'll get a standing ovation. So, yeah, thanks Ashley for the introduction and thank you all for letting me be here. This is the first of my long weeks of PG visits. I'm doing I think like 4 of the lacrosse clubs this week, and I intentionally scheduled it during Oktoberfest week so I can have a little bit of fun along the way too. But yeah, as Ashley said, my name is Ben Bauer. I'm from it's getting tough for me to say that, to get used to saying this. I'm from the Marshfield Rotary Club because the Sunrise Club and the Noon Clubs just recently merged, which is is a chore for sure. Like many things in Rotary, it took some work, but it's been really good for both clubs. A common thing that we see in some smaller communities like that where there's multiple clubs is the traditional noon lunch-based club is, sorry to say it, literally dying out, and resources are tapped, and it's really tough for them to pull off the things that they've been doing for 100+ years, right? So a really cool opportunity for us to work with them. We already were collaborating on so many things and doing a lot of the same things that it just made a lot of sense for us to come together. So it's been an adventure, but it's been a really good thing for our club and for the community. So Ben Bauer, member of the Marshfield Rotary. If I say it like 100 more times, I think we'll get it. But, a little bit about me. I am married to 10 years to an amazing wife, Katie, who's a special ed teacher. She was going to take the year off because we have a 5-month-old baby girl named Olive, but she got suckered into going back and teaching middle school special ed part-time 3 days a week. So I think she's having fun with that. It's been a nice balance actually to have her enjoy some home time. Some extra home time, and yet also still get to be a teacher, which she's super passionate about. We also have a son, Charlie, who is in 1st grade. He'll be 7 in November. And I like to let you all know what family and home life is like for sure, but I also like to mention them because without them, I couldn't do this thing, particularly my wife. I mean, she's been amazingly supportive, and when I interviewed for the district governor role a few years ago, we were trying for our second, and wasn't quite working out, and we both kind of simultaneously like, what's going to happen here to get this district governor. That's sure enough, here we are. So but that is a happy wrinkle in my schedule that I'm super happy to have, and we're really fortunate. I should probably add like a picture to my deck or something, so I'm super proud to become Facebook friends or something. But professionally, I'm in marketing. I went to school for graphic design here in lacrosse, actually at the Tech. Lacrosse is a special place in my heart. I say often that if I could pluck my whole family and friends out of Marshfield and put them somewhere, it would be here in lacrosse. I love this city, so I'm super happy to be here. I work for Simplicity Credit Union and Exclamation Services. So I joined the Simplicity Credit Union team as a director of marketing about 6 years ago. And in 2018, we started a separate company that is owned by the credit union. That's more or less a marketing agency that provides those services back to Simplicity and back to other small credit unions, small businesses, nonprofits. So it's a cool gig that makes every day interesting. In a previous life, when I moved back to Marshfield from college, I started a marketing and printing company with a buddy of mine from high school. We ran that for like 12 years. When family started coming, it was like, okay, time to do something else because I was working like crazy and stuff. But that's a whole nother long story that I'll spare you for now. Anytime that I get the chance to get in front of a group of Rotarians or potential Rotarians, Kathy, I like to share our vision statement because Rotary is this beast that does so much. Youth things, international projects, local projects, things like Rotary Lights, cleaning up highways, cleaning up parks, fundraisers, all that stuff. And it's really tough to tell people what we do. This is our vision statement that maybe doesn't get down into the specifics, but I think it does a really great job of encapsulating what Rotary is, or at least what we're trying to do, right? My favorite part about it is the last line where it says, and in ourselves. So together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities and in ourselves. And like I said, we do so much. We do so much everywhere, right? Home and abroad. But I think something that we struggle with as Rotarians, we're typically really busy people, One thing I say often is busy people make great Rotarians, which is also a great line for somebody that you're recruiting and they say, nah, I'm too busy. I don't think I can add another thing in that. Well, hey, busy people make great Rotarians. Who in this room is not busy, right? Yeah, none of you, you're all super busy. But I think it's really tough for us to pause because of the busyness or because of the projects that we have going on and things we're trying to build and stuff. For us to remember to like take a break sometimes and look at ourselves and look at what Rotary has done for us. I mean, I've met thousands of Rotarians, people that I would recognize and, you know, have this new connection with. I've met hundreds of really close friends, a lot of them in this room, right? People that I've met and hung out with and maybe had a beer or two with, but we'll save those stories for another day too. But, you know, it gives us really cool opportunity for us to make friends, make connections, and experience personal and professional growth. I know when I think of myself, and I think of the person I was when I joined Rotary and the person that I am now, I've grown a lot personally, professionally, and Rotary's played a huge role in that. And I think it's important for us to all pause and recognize that in ourselves and in the people around us, because I do think that it's one of the most magical things that Rotary provides is this opportunity for growth and worldwide connection. It's this great way to shrink the globe and really change as people. Sorry. If you haven't seen it, Rotary developed this really cool action plan a couple of years ago, and it's I should probably know this 4 or 5 year plan. I won't go into the details of it, but if you're curious, if your club, I think your club has done some strategic planning or visioning seminar recently, right? So you guys are already ahead of the curve. Not every club does that thing. I guess maybe a challenge I'd have for you, if it resonates, is look at that plan, that vision that you put together, and just find opportunities for it to align with Rotary's strategic plan. And my guess is it does in a lot of ways. But the Rotary Action Plan just provides a really, really nice template, tons of resources for ways to make real change in your club. For a lot of clubs, this can be like that thing that gets them over the hump of them being stuck as a club, not knowing what to do next, maybe how to come back from COVID. For others, it maybe strengthens things that you're already doing, like your vision, your planning. Moving along. Oh, I'm pressing along. The thing about the action plan is that really whatever level of Rotary you're in, whether that's your new member or somebody that's super engaged at the club level, or maybe in district leadership, which there's people in this room too that are involved in district leadership. The action plan has something for everyone in it, so you can really see yourself in the plan and how you achieve the initiatives that Rotary International is trying to do worldwide. And when I mention levels of Rotary, I like to show this too, which is a super high level, very basic, not scientific at all, org chart of what Rotary looks like, and it's intentionally an upside down pyramid. And that's because where the rubber meets the road is here. In clubs like this, with people like you that do things in your communities, every other aspect of Rotary exists so you can do what you need to do for your communities, for the world, and for yourself. You all belong to a club, right? You know that. But something that might go unknown is what a district is, what a zone is, and really what this beast of Rotary International is. So districts and zones exist to provide support to clubs, strength and support to clubs. That's what we're here for. Our district goes from Medford, so north central part of the state, all the way down to Janesville, over to Prairie du Chien, and then up to the Chippewa Valley, so kind of that southwestern corner of the state. There's 55 clubs in our district. We have a leadership roster in the district that's almost 100 people strong, people that bring talents professionally or bring talents through Rotary and experience through Rotary, again, to help strengthen you as clubs and as Rotarians and provide support too. So your club has lots of great resources embedded in it. People like Laura and Marissa, and probably just see them too back there. So I'm sure I'm leaving some people out, but you guys do lots of great things and have a nice multifaceted club, right? You're doing things locally and internationally and hosting youth exchange students, which I think is just so awesome. And the district does have people, resources, and if they don't know a thing, they'll connect you to the people that do, which might be at the zone level, which is kind of like the central band of the United States all the way down to Central America. So these are people that have, experienced things outside of our clubs, outside of our districts, and again, just loads of experience. So I'm not getting too specific on who these people are and what they do. Just if you ever get to some point in your Rotary life where you're feeling like I could use a little guidance on this thing, or there's got to be a better way, or feel like I'm reinventing the wheel, first definitely check around the Fletcher Club because maybe somebody's already done it. But if not, just know that there's additional support for you outside of your club and even outside of the lacrosse area, which another thing that is really cool and you're all fortunate to have is the natural collaboration that happens in the lacrosse area. You guys are familiar with all the projects that you work on, things like Rotary Lights and the mobile health clinic, and just super amazing stuff. So the point of the message in talking about the structure of Rotary is that there's help for you. So you're never alone in Rotary. And like I said, our district's focus, we're here to strengthen and support clubs. We say that often, we mean it. As the district governor, I'm always a little leery when I walk into a club, like, okay, am I looked at as like this dude that can provide strength and support, maybe a fun message, or am I an auditor or something? Like I'm not going to come in here and tell you everything you should or shouldn't be doing, what you're doing right or wrong. I'm here to support, make connections, and hopefully have some fun, because that's a huge part of Rotary too. So, okay, we're gonna do a quick little activity here. This is the audience participation part of the night. Okay, I promise it'll be really easy. So what we're gonna do is answer these few questions, and we're gonna create like a living Venn diagram within the room. Okay, so we're gonna split the room right here down the center, and then we'll use these posts here as the other plane on our Venn diagram. Okay? And when I say go, you'll get up and you're going to position yourself into the room based on your answer to these questions. Now, there's 4 answers going Jeopardy style with the answers first: giving, service, fellowship and fun, and networking. There might be more answers to these questions, but these are the 4 we're going to go with right now. Okay. And so in a bit here, I'll ask why you joined. Just stand up and put yourself wherever in the room, wherever on the Venn diagram that is your answer to this question. So why did you join Rotary? If you joined for service and that was it, you're like, I'm giving back to the community, that's why I need to be a part of Rotary. You're gonna go stand way back in that corner, in the service corner. If it was networking, it'll be up here. Okay, follow me around the room. All right, if you're somewhere in between, put yourself right in line on those planes, right down here on the room, and on this post. Pretty easy, right? Okay, so
Where's giving a fellowship?
giving and fellowship. Well, giving is back there and fellowship is up here. Cool. All right, so stand up. Why you joined? Go ahead and put yourself in the room. Big group hovering up to the fellowship and fun area. I like it. I wouldn't expect much less here.
Yeah.
You can be kind of in the middle.
I'm gonna be safe in the middle. Okay, cool. Yeah.
I want to see
So-
all of
so
you.
when
Yeah.
When I dreamed this thing up, I was like, okay, there's not going to be anyone that stands right in the middle, right? Right? Like, sure enough,
No.
You're welcome.
this club gives me something that you guys are the unicorn members.
Yep.
They're perfectly balanced.
You'll have to report back if anybody else does that right off
I
the
mean,
bat.
I got some free tattooed on my lips, so here you go.
Okay, so yeah. Crickets in the giving corner. Okay, so let's take a mental snapshot of this. Okay, so lots of fellowship and fun, some people kind of in between, good balance over here on service and networking, but big gap over there, right? So just something interesting to recognize. Everybody that's in this room is answering the question of why you joined, and there's not too many people that answered via giving. Now, maybe service is a version of giving, right?
I feel like we have some giving people that don't come to meetings.
Hey,
But
we need those
why.
Rotarians, right? Yeah.
They're texting.
Yeah. Great observation. Okay, so next question, the answer can be exactly the same, or you can move. Why do you stay? Why are you still in Rotary? maybe for the people that have been for a few years. So put yourself in the room for why you stay if it's different. Okay, so some more people coming into balance. Maybe they join for one thing and now they're realizing there's more. They stay because of everything that you can do. Cassie, thanks for playing along. I know answering for the future. Okay, awesome. So let's take a snapshot of this. Still giving is alone back there. That's okay. You like even givers wherever you are. All right, and then still lots of good balance over here on the service and networking. Awesome. All right, now, again, your answer to this question, there's no wrong answers. In your opinion or your answer, what does the club need? Put yourself in the room. Everybody's flying back to giving right now. Put yourself wherever.
Let's go.
If you think there's a gap in the club, maybe something we could do better, we could do more of. What do you think?
I think that we are very well balanced.
We need. Networking's up here, yeah. All right. Okay, perfect. So this is maybe what we think the club might need. So I don't know. I guess we're just happy with where the givers are and who they are. Hey, that's okay. Every club plays a role. I like. So, okay, again, that's a snapshot here. This I think is a really important question because clearly everybody has an opinion here and maybe some different answers. So again, there's no wrong answers, but if you think that maybe something that we need to do more of is networking, maybe ask yourselves, what role could I play in bringing more networking to the club? Same applies to service and everything like that. So, okay, that's it. And that's the audience participation. Grab a seat. Thank you. So, answering the questions I hope is helpful to each of you, but I think one of the main points of doing this is we just kind of did like an impromptu membership survey, right? And, one thing that clubs could do more of is ask their members these questions, right? I think it's really important to understand why your members join. In particular, members that maybe aren't here, whether it's at this meeting or at your service projects and stuff. But there's people you haven't seen for a while. They came here for something, right? I mean, they joined Rotary for something that we asked them what they were hoping to get out of it. Now, what they might say might not be something that you can provide, but knowing it and knowing whether or not it's something you can provide is super helpful, right? Especially if one of their answers is fellowship and fun. Well, you saw the people that think that that's something you do well. So how can we connect those people with the thing that they joined for? Same thing for why people stay, and same thing for maybe the gap or the opportunity that we have to take the next step in our club. So I think at the end of the day, the most important thing is creating a culture that embraces candor, right? Every member should have the ability to say, hey, I joined for this and gosh, I'm just not getting it, you know, and or you know, I stayed for this, or once upon a time, this is something that meant a lot to me in Rotary, and we're just not doing that anymore. It's good to know. And on the flip side of that, it's super helpful to know the things that you're doing really well, and you know why people continue to stay and to give and be involved in everything that you're doing. If you haven't done a membership survey recently, now is a good time. So speaking of like change and things that we might do differently, I have a goal this year that I was voluntold this goal by our Rotary International President, Jennifer Jones, where she challenged each district governor to form 2 new clubs in their districts. I can't do it by myself. I could, maybe see how I could start a new club in the Marshfield area or something like that. But if that's a goal that's going to happen, it could be because this is something that sounds interesting to you, or maybe you have an idea. So what you see on the screen are some logos for new clubs that have taken shape recently, which I think are cool and worth talking about. So in Minnesota, there's a club that formed, that's the Club of Minnesota Veterans. It was started by a guy who's not a veteran. Not everybody that's in the club is a veteran, but they have a clear mission and cause, which is to serve veterans, do projects for them, create funds for programs that help support them, everything from mental health to financial stability. Really, really cool club. And the beauty of this and a lot of the clubs that you see on the screen actually are that just by reading the name, you immediately know what they do, right? I think that's one of our challenges in Rotary is, you know, again, because it's this big beast that does so much, and a lot of the people in lacrosse might know of Rotary because of Rotary lights, and maybe that's the extent of their knowledge. Do they know that, you know, we're hosting youth exchange students all the time? We're sending people out, creating these life-changing opportunities. So I don't know that we need a club for every cause or every group of people, but I do think it's interesting to see some of these cause-based and group specific clubs forming. Same with the Rotary Club to End Human Trafficking. I mean, I think that'd be so powerful to see a potential member that either, you know, has had a life experience with that, or maybe works in a field that has a similar cause. Immediately when they see, hey, there's a Rotary Club that like can help, you know, maybe connect my business to resources or connect me to other people that do this stuff that I really care about. There's just, you know, as a marketer, like the power in seeing that and knowing immediately what somebody does, I think is really helpful. We have one in our own district, the Change Makers Club, which was just chartered in July. So this is a all virtual club. They meet once a month. It's a really great club for people that need like ultimate flexibility, or I think a perfect home for people who maybe had to leave your club because of a career change or a move or something, and they still want to be a part of Rotary, but they don't feel good belonging to your club because they're not going to be around anymore and stuff. I know that you guys have a member, Josh, who's, you know, still a part of the club, so maybe your club is super flexible with that. But if for some reason that doesn't work out, it's a great opportunity to keep someone connected to Rotary until maybe they land in the community that has a club or something. So check that out, be familiar with it. Again, another good resource for making connections. The link on the screen is just something that Rotary put together that outlines the process of starting a club. I'm not going to sit up here and say that it's not work or that it's really easy or something. Like, to start a club takes some work for sure. But at the same time, it has been made as simple as possible. This is something that is important to Rotary, and especially the importance or what Rotary really cares about is that there's an openness and flexibility to what a club looks like. Whether that's the time of day that they meet, what their due structure is, and everything. So if you've got an idea rolling around in your head right now, let's talk. If you need another idea, one that I share often is look around your community and like, are there 8 or 20 people that care about the same thing? And if we sprinkle a little Rotary magic on the thing that they're trying to do or the thing that they're trying to change, could that help? And if that's the case, well, then maybe there's a space for them to be a club, a satellite club that's like attached to this club. You only need 8 people to start one of those, or 20 people to start a brand new club. So, like I said, if you have any ideas or something, I'd love to chat. Another thing along the path to our future is Rotary's refocus and strength put behind diversity, equity, and inclusion. Diversity has always been a part of Rotary's values and really important. We welcome that. We're a global organization. It's kind of crazy to, you know, think that we might not be a diverse organization already, but we also know that our clubs maybe could use a bit more diversity. And when I'm talking about diversity, yeah, it's easy to go to black and white, gay and straight, things like that. And I don't mean to glaze over those. Those are important issues. But I do hope to pass along the message that DEI is much, much more than that. And especially when you think of the E and the I in DEI, you know, diversity is important for sure, but equity and inclusion are equally just as important. And at the end of the day, the reason this is so important is because it creates belonging. Belonging is that outcome. The big hairy dream that I have is that every person that's eligible for some version of Rotary membership, whether that's Interacts, Rotaracts, even a non-member role, like being a youth exchange student or coming to RAH or something like that, that all those people know that they belong, because they do belong. They belong somewhere in Rotary, whether it's a member of a club or being a part of our project and stuff. And an example that I'd like to share about how just continuing on your own journey to grow and learn about DEI, it doesn't mean that you need to change the world or, you know, create rights for a specific group of people, you know, and those things are important. We can't stop our pursuit of making the world better for all people, but it can be as simple as just making something a tad more accessible for people that didn't have the access before. And the example that I use is our RAH camp. Once upon a time, this is at Camp Upland Woods in the Wisconsin Dells. Beautiful camp. Once upon a time, when we first got there, we had our registration in the lodge, which when you get to the lodge at Camp Upland Woods, the first thing you experience is this huge concrete staircase. So what does it look like for a student that comes in a wheelchair or on crutches or something? And the first thing that they experience is not doing that, you know? So like the change we made was we moved registration over the parking. And we actually created a whole bunch of fun with that. Now, when you pull in, you're bombarded by 20 students going crazy and some adults going crazy too, actually, and just, you know, having this super fun, welcoming experience that says you belong here. So sometimes the change by, you know, continuing your journey in DEI and stuff can be really small in the grand scheme of things, but for that person or that group, it can be really impactful. Another opportunity on the Rotary journey, and I think this journey plays an important role in the future of our organization as we continue to try and bring more people in, whether that's as members or volunteers or participants in our program, is just knowing all of the entry points within Rotary. Your club is really active and, you know, familiar with a lot of these things like RILA and Interact. You provided students and counselors and support for all of these things, but just a reminder that these are really cool opportunities for someone at any point in life to enter into the Rotary world, and then who knows where it goes from there. I've yet to find that unicorn Rotarian that, besides Laura there, who is standing in the center of the room, but that comes to RILA, is so moved that they come back and start to join an Interact club, and then they go on youth exchange, and then they join a Rotaract club after that, and then they land in a Rotary club. I'm actually really curious if there's a Rotarian in the world that went through that journey, but it might not be perfect. But the point is, wherever they enter, there's an opportunity to get them involved in all the cool things that we do. So if you're looking around your club, maybe looking for what's next, something you want to give energy or life to, is there a gap in the Rotary journey here? And I can say on the district's behalf, a gap that we have is Rotaract, which is our like college age Rotarian membership. And there's been a lot of change to Rotaract membership recently. They're going to be paying dues, cheaper dues in the next Rotary year, but they are treated just like a regular Rotarian membership going forward. So eligible for foundation dollars and stuff like that. So I think it's an interesting thing. Of course, it raises a bunch of questions and challenges, like how does this work? You know, a Rotaract club sitting next to one of our clubs, especially in a town like Lacrosse, where there's already great Rotary presence. But at the end of the day, if Rotaract is the thing that's right to get somebody involved in our organization, there might be an opportunity there. So stay open to it and be aware of those opportunities, I guess is the point of that message. The Rotary citation, which I can neither confirm nor deny that your club has received the citation for the last Rotary year. That's a hint, I'll just leave that right there. But if you're not aware of what this is, it's a really important program in that it, as much as it provides recognition for a club doing all kinds of things, 5 minutes, thank you. As much as it's recognition for clubs doing the things that we Rotarians do in all levels, like foundation, public image, and membership, it's a reason to pause and celebrate. And I guess going back to that vision statement slide that I shared at the beginning, achieving the Rotary citation is not a formality. You have to set goals in the My Rotary website. You have to achieve those goals, and when you do, you get a certificate suitable for framing and an opportunity to look around your club and say, hey, like we did some stuff this year. There's 25 goals. If you haven't been familiar with it recently, or if you serve a role in your club and you're thinking like, how do I help contribute to us achieving the citation? There's probably a goal that your club hasn't achieved in a while, or maybe something that you haven't even set a goal for. That might be an opportunity for you to try something new, or might be something to do next. So again, I know that that's a thing that your club has interacted with in the past, so I won't elaborate more on that. last thing, I'm wrapping up. I'm so stinking excited to share that Tricon is gonna be on the cross again, because I love the city. Two, because it's in our home district. It's called Tricon because we pair up with the two other districts in Wisconsin. Our neighbors to the east in the Wausau, and they actually go into the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And then our neighbors to the southeast in Milwaukee and up along the rivers, or I'm sorry, the lake. The fact that they're all going to be coming over to check out lacrosse and be at the lacrosse center and be able to walk out the lacrosse center doors and enjoy downtown, I'm just really excited about. I've been telling clubs that I'll buy you a beer if you come and see me at Tricon, but I think I have to stop doing that. If it's going to be really expensive, but maybe you guys can be the last. So come see me, let's have a beer, and let's enjoy Rotary Company. It's a really cool event in that it's, for many people, it's that first experience outside of their club. Now, in lacrosse, maybe a little bit of an exception because your clubs work together so often, which is really, really great. It's a special thing that lacrosse has. Not every city that has multiple clubs is like that. So you guys already have a little bit of the picture outside of your own club, but to hear what clubs from Madison and Marshfield and Medford are doing and get to meet people from those places, it's, again, just one of those cool opportunities that Rotary provides by shrinking the world and making cool connections around the state. So save the date. I actually have save the date magnets. I should have set those out, but you guys are here, so you're all going to be there. And then last, I'll just close with a quote from Jennifer Jones, which I think is great because the theme this year being Imagine Rotary, which I think is super powerful. You know, as a designer and stuff, like I can't help but think about what's next and try to build things in my brain, create them and stuff. And I operate the same way in Rotary. I'm that vision guy that's like saying, hey, we should do this without having any plan behind it and stuff. And that's where this quote comes in, which is, you know, at the end of the day, we can all dream and stuff. But it's the action that makes those dreams happen. So keep imagining Rotary, keep dreaming, keep doing the awesome things that you guys are doing in your club and in your community. Really proud and happy to be here tonight. I know we don't have much time, but I'm staying in town tonight. So if there's any questions or anyone wants to go grab a beer or something, I'm here. So appreciate y'all. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you staying to tapping on Friday?
Going to what?
Are you staying for the tapping on Friday?
Of the
When
golden
is the
keg,
Happening at the Golden-
Friday.
Friday.
What, Friday morning? I'm in town Friday morning. Well, I have the La Crescent Club at 7.
It's a 7 a.m. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Are you going back?
I'm going home Friday night. Yeah. So I was going to be here through the weekend, back when my wife was not going to be teaching this year. The whole family can come, but she's teaching part-time this year again, so. No, that's for that, except for tapping the tag out.
You're going to the parade?
Oh, and actually, I'm gonna be at I got an invite today to the Festmeister Ball. Something, so I'll see you then. Yeah, so. I'm sorry if that's like a weird flex or something. I don't know what that is. I know it's gonna be fun. Yeah, okay. Cool. All right, thanks everyone.
Thanks.
For you, thank you for coming.
Yeah, you
I
bet.
know it's hard with the young family, so we
Yeah.
appreciate you
Thank
taking
you.
the time. And I bet we can find a place for you in the church like parade if you want to go on your trip. So I'm just.
That would be.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Thursday night?
Mhm.
Thursday night.
Yeah.
I need a reason not to work while I'm sitting here.
Mhm.
You look for your slide. Sorry.
It's at the end.
Technology is not a check. Really quickly, I forgot, I should have congratulated Liz Evans, she got engaged recently. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Very happy. feel free to grab more food before you guys head out. Still food over there. So our next meeting will be the first meeting, October 2nd, Tuesday of the month, October 11th. We are going to have Climate Alliance for the Coming Good join us, so it should be an interesting presentation. All right, and then to wrap up, we all want to state in 5 minutes of all the things we think, say, or do.
Friendships. Beneficial to all concerned. Is it?
Right, just a reminder, upcoming committee meeting. Membership is meeting tonight after the meeting. And these are the rest of them, so contact people if you want to get involved. Feel free to join any of them. That is it. So hopefully we will see you all on Thursday or Saturday, otherwise October 11th.
Saturday.
Yeah. Are you going?
If anyone needs a physical reminder for Tricon, no pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Need a new fridge magnet, whatever.
Oh, it's in my calendar.
Okay, perfect.